So for discussion week 3, we're talking about use cases for the task management dashboard I've been working on. Two different use cases. Use case for an existing system, use case for a new system. For both of these, you're going to have two actors. You're going to have the manager, you're going to have the volunteers. Full-time, part-time. So, existing system, you got a manual whiteboard and sticky notes. Preconditions for that. The written tasks written on the board, and then tasks are categorized loosely at first, but they'll be subject to change eventually, based on things that come down the pipe. Here's the main workflow. It's just a basic. Any task that comes up, they write it on a sticky note. They write it on the whiteboard. Something's done, it's got to be verbal discussion with the manager that it's done. One thing that's big is it gets erased or removed from the board, and the problem with that one is the historical relevance of that. You have no history, you have no track record of doing that task other than kind of remembering it. Some alternative workflows, you got a higher priority tasks that come down. You're going to have to go directly to the board, make that change, that rearrange there. So a lot of things can kind of happen there. Volunteers may forget their tasks. That's another one. So that's the use case for the existing system. And with the new system, obviously I have custom filters, so you can prioritize based on those custom filters. Preconditions there, manager has them added into the app. Custom filters added at first creation of the task. The main workflow is manager logs in, creates a new task, assigns a priority level and whoever is working on it. And then once the volunteer logs in, they'll see their task and they can sort them by priority. The manager should be able to monitor those through the progress, through the monitoring dashboard. Once it's complete, it'll be marked as complete, and then manager can verify that. Basic task management dashboard functionality right there, just a simple use case. One thing about the custom filters that some alternatives come up. If a new urgent task arises, like in the existing one, the manager can create that new one and add a custom filter and then go in exactly at that point and reorganize the priorities, reorganize the tasks, and then the volunteers can see that directly in the application. Also, another alternative workflow there is if a volunteer is overwhelmed, has a lot of tasks, hard to delegate, then the manager can kind of move those over to another assignee. So those are the use cases I came up with for this one, just some basic use cases for those, and we're going to go ahead and do a activity diagram for this. So for the existing system, you got a couple actions there for the main workflow. So you got to start here. Alright, so as we can see, this is the existing system. Tasks get written on the board, like we've already been through before. Volunteer checks the board, the alternatives here, comes back around. So there's the activity diagram, basic activity diagram for the existing system. Now we can go and do one for the new system. Alright, so the first step to the new one's obviously going to be the task creation with the filter, priority filter, and the assignee. Next, the volunteers are going to log in and view tasks by priority. Alright, so on to the alternative workflows. So once the volunteer logs in, views a task by priority, at that point they're starting the task. After that, if I guess in between the monitoring and the completion, you got the new task. If there's a new task that arises, obviously the manager needs to input it. So at this point, the only thing left to do is to complete the task that is of a higher priority. And then once that happens, it'll be completed. The only other one I had as an alternative workflow was manager step in. So if we have overwhelmed volunteer, manager can reassign tasks where needed. So, and then once that's done, then task will be completed and the manager can view that. Like I said, there's no need for a verbal communication at this point because it'll be through the application itself. So here's the activity diagram for the new system. So, thank you very much.